We're going to hear from our winning team right now of today's 20th annual Boyd Gaming 300 NASCAR Xfinity Series race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And race winner is Kyle Busch. He drives the number 18 NOS Energy Drink Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. He's joined by crew chief Chris Gayle. 78 wins now in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for Kyle Busch. His first win in the series at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And Kyle, talk about the significance of that. I know you're a driver that likes to accomplish things, and this had to be one that you really were glad to accomplish here today.
Yeah, certainly was really cool to have the opportunity to win here. I've had many of opportunities in the past and have come up short or just haven't quite had the day that we needed to have in order to get it done. But you know, today, this weekend, Chris Gayle and everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing, they've been building some really good stuff, and JGR engines are fast as well too, so the NOS Energy Drink Camry was really good, and I just can't say enough about them. And the work that goes into everything makes my job look easy, but you know, today was pretty special just to be able to finally get a win here in the hometown and check that one off the list. So really excited about that and being able to accomplish that, and now looking forward to, I guess, the one last one that's on the list to get is Watkins Glen, but before that we've got many more. So next week's another one that we want to go out there and try to score a victory.
And Chris, just talk about the dominance of this race car here today, the 18 car, a pole sitter, led all but one lap, and you know.
Yeah, how do we miss that one lap? Just through the first pit sequence?
Yeah, I'd have to go back and review that, but just talk about the talk about the dominance of this race car, and really, you know, how this race team really since the start of the season, you know, last couple of weeks, really been strong.
Yeah, it has been strong to start this year. I think you saw this coming towards the end of last year if you just looked at JGR as a whole and how we started running on the Xfinity side. So, I mean, it's a big tribute to all the guys at the shop and kind of all the work that was started last year and it's kind of come over into this year, and then we've just been able to start, you know, maybe a touch better than maybe where we left off last year. And it's just you know, everybody likes to look at things and go, man, the JGR cars are 1, 2, 3 qualifying 2 weeks in a row. They're running up front. It's a lot of work by a lot of guys to make that happen. It's not like one thing that just does it. It's work over the off season, work towards last year, and then it just kind of all comes together, you know.
Absolutely, and a 1-2-3 finish today for Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota. Congratulations. We'll take questions now for Kyle or Chris. Start right here with my good friend Holly Kane.
Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. Kyle, I remember asking you this a couple of years ago. Did you feel any more love winning and racing in front of your hometown crowd? And you laughed at me when I asked. But did it feel at all special today? And has it been any different coming back as the champion this year, too?
You know, certainly there's been a lot more followings, I guess, through the garage area, things like that. You know, people that want a piece of you, your autograph, a picture, whatever it may be. And, you know, I think that has something to do with the championship. I think this week, you know, has something to do with just that there's a lot of people here, a lot of people through the Neon Garage. Really unique opportunity for a lot of fans to get up close and personal, not only with the drivers of the crews, but, of course, the cars as well, too. So, you know, it's always fun to go every week and see how intros is going to go. And, you know, this week, typically, it's not much different than others, actually. I've always said it, and I'll say it again. It seems like there's too many out-of-towners that come in here, but I'm sure I didn't make very many friends while I was here winning too much either in the bull ring days. So, you know, there may be some naysayers from those days as well.
Other questions? Right here, Tom has one. Go ahead.
Tom Zaleski on County Today. Chris, when the red flag was lifted and we started back up again, how much was fuel a concern? How much were you in fuel-saving mode at that point?
Oh, it was a concern before the red flag. We obviously were close. We didn't know how close until we pitted under that green flag stop, and then you kind of get a read on your mileage, and you kind of have an idea of how far you can go the next time. So we knew we would be close based on that mileage. We were hoping that the red flag wouldn't come out and that we were going to get a few more yellow flag laps, and then that would have helped ensure that we could have made it to the end. So we knew it was an issue, but at that point, priority is keeping the lead. You don't know if another caution is going to fall, whatever. So, you know, if pit road hadn't opened and I didn't know that the majority were going to come back down and splash for fuel, we would have been in a situation where we'd had to stay out front and then just try to save towards the end. However, you know, everybody scans everyone else, so you kind of know other people are coming, and there was only 11 on the lead lap at that time, so we had a good feel that at least 5 of the guys on the lead lap were coming to top off the fuel, so there's no reason not for us to do the same thing. And then once we did that, we knew we were okay on fuel there the rest of the way.
Yes, let's go with Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, Performance Racing Network, and Kicking the Tires. I want to go back to that one lap that you didn't lead. Is there any angst by not getting that? I don't know if you've ever led every lap of a race before, but do you think about that, or will you think about that?
You really asked if I've have led every lap in a race before? We've done it a few times. Not at Vegas, no. I've never won. So it is what it is. No big deal. You know, it's part of pit strategy. You know, when Chris calls me down, it is what it is. You know, we weren't probably at that point in the race. We weren't necessarily racing Chase Elliott, and he just stayed out in order to get that lap led. Why they did, I don't know. I don't know if that car is a full-time car. I know that car's definitely got different drivers in it each week. So. Sort of irrelevant for them to lead a lap, but you know, it doesn't hurt my feelings that I wasn't able to lead them all. I led the most important one.
Let's go over here to Chris Knight, and then I think Tom had a follow-up. Did you?
Chris Knight, CatchFence.com. Congratulations on the win. 16,084 laps. I think you set another milestone today, becoming the most lap leader in Xfinity Series history. Just wondering your thoughts on that.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. You know, milestones, I find out about a lot of them afterwards. I'm not necessarily one that looks at them and sees what's next. You know, obviously with being the winningest driver, that was a long time ago, but that was a long time ago. I think that was 2011. Getting old. Better quit. So, you know, it's just a unique opportunity for me to be in the great equipment that I am in with Joe Gibbs and Chris Gayle and all these guys. You know, we just come out here and try to perform and do our jobs. Obviously, our jobs is to come out here and win. You know, we not only win for ourselves, but we win for our partners, NOS Energy Drink, and our team, of course, but also everyone back at Joe Gibbs Racing. So, you know, the amount of laps led that we've led over the years has been a lot, and being up front that much is pretty cool. It's certainly a lot more fun to lead at Bristol because they go by in 15 seconds, you know, so you can count them up pretty quick. Versus a road course or something like that. So all in all, though, it's a big number.
Go back to Tom.
Kyle, hi. So any conversation? What was the conversation like with Daniel and Eric after the race?
I saw Daniel. He came to victory lane and he congratulated us, the whole team, as well as myself. And I told him, I was like, man, that was all I had. Those last 10 laps, that was everything I could give it. And he was faster than us. He was gaining and he was closing. It seemed like my car, I could get through traffic a little bit better than him. And then, you know, when we kind of were single filed out, running just lap time to lap time, he could be a little bit faster than me. I was just a little too tight there at the end of the race. But, you know, he was really loose in traffic and around other cars. So that's the kind of thing that you play with. You know, it's actually pretty unique where my car was tight enough where I was really good in traffic and his was free enough where he was really fast by himself. So we kind of played a little bit of a cat and mouse game there. There towards the end, obviously, the closer you get towards the checker flag, lap cars tend to lay over a little bit more. They tend to give more leeway for the leaders. And so that maybe have helped Daniel gain on us a little bit more, where my advantage that I had in the middle of the race where lap cars don't really give way sort of went away.
Bob, do you have a question? Yeah. Give Bob a mic there. Anthony, thank you.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. One of the things your crew chiefs have said in the past, your Cup guys have said, that running Xfinity helps you as much mentally as it does just knowing things. I mean, how much does this help you maybe sleep tonight after what we saw in Cup practice today?
Unless Brexton's going to the hotel, I don't sleep at night anyways. So he's on East Coast time here out west, so we're screwed. But past that, you know, I think, yes, it does sort of give you a little bit of confidence to believe in the fact that you know how to get around this racetrack. Obviously, you're not racing against, you know, 38 others of the best in the country, drivers as well as crew chiefs. You know, there's a reason why the Sprint Cup Series is what it is. There's talent there. It's talent with drivers, crew chiefs, people, engineers, everybody. So there's a lot of things that make that so tough and so complicated as it is. So, you know, I look forward to tomorrow, though, now. I didn't earlier on today or this weekend. We were really, really bad. We were horrible yesterday, and that's why we qualified so bad. But it seems like we finally hit on a little bit of something there at the end of practice. So real proud of Adam and the guys for digging in and being able to find something for our M&M's Camry. You know, I'm not going to say we're a winning car, but I think we're definitely top 10, top 5 car now that, you know, get us close to the end, give us a shot. Hopefully we can win.
Final question right here.
Kyle, Dick and Ware, the Motorsports Report. Had Austin or Chase been coming up on you, would your teammates, this is a two-part question, would your teammates helped you hold your position? And the other half of the question is, had your teammates been faster, how hard would it have been for them to get by you?
Well, I mean, I don't know that anybody necessarily blocks, but you try to run everybody as hard as you can run them, especially down towards the end of the race. You're not going to give anybody any inch. So whether my teammates would be holding off those behind me or not, I think they were fast enough where they were driving away from the cars behind them. So I don't think there was any gamesmanship being played there. But like I said, there at the end, if Suarez probably had 15 more laps, he probably would have got us. He was definitely faster than us. He was quick, and it was going to be a race between us with clean air versus us in traffic, and trying to back and forth a little bit, like I was talking about earlier, where his car was better in clean air versus ours. So it was a fun race. I enjoyed seeing Suarez run as good as he did. I was pretty pumped for him. I was definitely not going to be as pumped for him if he would have beat me, but that's besides the point now. So I'll tell him again that he did a really, really good job. I'm proud of him, and a win's not too far out for that kid, for either one of them, Eric Jones or Suarez.
Any other questions? Dominic has a final one. A man from Albuquerque, right here.
Dominic Uttego on the RacingExperts.com. For Kyle, 78th career win in the Xfinity Series. Is it safe to say this was the biggest win of your Xfinity career in front of the hometown crowd?
No, probably not. This is a big one, but I'd have to put it right up there with the Brickyard, and being able to win in the Brickyard last year with Chris and my guys with the 54 car, but then also to sweep that weekend and win the Cup race the next day. I think that was a little bit sweeter. That's what makes that one so much cooler. Maybe than this one. Unless I win tomorrow, then maybe we'll talk about it again and see which one's cooler, But certainly the Brickyard has a little bit more history around it than Vegas does. But for me, this is right up there, close to the top two, top three.
Jim Utter does have the final question.
You sound like a photographer when I go to do photo shoots. They're like, just one more, just one more. If I hear that one more time, I'm leaving. Just kidding.
Jim Utter, Motorsport.com. This is kind of just a follow-up to the stuff on Daniel. After the race, he talked about how it was difficult for him to learn how to go fast when you race traffic and when they are your problem for you and when they're not. And you've worked with a lot of up-and-coming drivers. He appears to be someone who picks up things very quickly. How would you rank him as far as learning from experience on the tracks?
Daniel is one of the guys who probably talks to me the most of any of the younger drivers that I've helped come up through the ranks. And he always wants to learn. He always wants to get better. He always wants to know what he's missing in order to be better. And I give him, an A for effort. He certainly does everything that he's supposed to do in order to try to get better. I think that he's just getting more and more opportunities running the Xfinity cars and running the trucks to be able to put that to good use on the racetrack and show that he's got good skill. Obviously today they had a really good car like we did, but also he was able to know what he wanted in his race car to get through traffic versus being by himself, and he was better than us when it came down to clean air. So he's obviously done a good job. I think one of the things that was probably most impressive, if I remember back to the restart there, that last restart, is he fell back to maybe 4th, 5th, 6th, I don't even know where, and then mustered his way back up towards the front, got to 2nd, and then chased me down. So he certainly had some good speed. He certainly did a good job passing fast race cars to get to 2nd, and then again having to deal with lap traffic. So A+ for effort for sure.
Kyle, that is the last question. I ran out of film.
Good talk.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thanks.